Hi everyone, it's Frida and welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to show you how I made these Plique-a-jour Maple leaf earrings. I learned this technique 20 something years ago in an art school in Europe alongside with cloisonne. Let's get to it. I started with gluing the design on a copper sheet. This copper sheet is about 18 gauge thick. We want to cut out these little cells, and to be able to do that we have to thread through the saw blade. I'm punching a mark in every cell to lead the drill bit. I grabbed my drill and I drilled the holes. Plique-a-jour is an enameling technique where transparent enamels applied in little cells similar to cloisonne, but there is no backing. The enamel letting through the light similar to stained glass, therefore it was called miniature stained glass. This technique was really popular during the Art Nouveau period. We cut out the inner cells first just because it's easier to hold the piece this way. After all the cells were cut out, I went ahead and I cut out the outline of the leaves too. I filed the edges with my needle files, the inside edges and the outside edges too. I put them on a steel block and made the earring pieces nice and flat. I put them in pickle to clean them before the enameling. Until it was in the pickle, I went outside and I made a tea. I left the tea to steep and I came back inside and picked some colors. It's a fall maple leaf, so naturally I chose red, orange and yellow. I'm going to share these colors on my Patreon, the link is going to be in the description. I needed to wash some colors, so I did that. When I was done washing them, I poured off as much water as I could from them because I don't want them to be too wet and drip through the cells. I grabbed the paintbrush and I started to fill out the cells. I could use a temporary backing here, but I chose not to. This is easier to do if the cells are smaller. The cohesive property of water is going to keep the enamel in the cells right now. I'm playing with gravity too, turning the piece around and working on the other side sometimes. Enamel still drips through once in a while, but I don't worry about that, I just keep going. While you watch me doing this, let's answer a question I got on my last video. First of all, thank you so much for the lovely comment, and her question was which gas I'm using when I'm torch firing enamel. I'm using propane. In my experience it's strong enough. You can also use MAB gas, the enamel is going to melt faster because it's a little bit stronger. Propane is actually much cheaper and that's the other reason I prefer it. I finished with the yellow color here and I started to apply the orange. Traditionally, colors are not mixed in one cell, but I sometimes like to do this, especially if my goal is kind of an ombre effect. Okay guys, it's time to mention today's sponsor, it's me. Finally, I have my store up and I'm so excited about it, and there is a new collection coming in the next couple of weeks. Please check it out, the link is going to be in the description. When I finished with all the colors, I put the enamel aside to dry. It's very important because if it's not dry enough, the water evaporates in the kiln too fast, making the enamel pop off. I fired my earrings on 1400 Fahrenheit for 2 minutes. Actually, I think they look really ugly after the first firing. Enamel shrunk, opening up the cells, and also oxides developed on the surface of the copper. I'm going to put it in pickle, and until it's in the pickle I'm going to go out and have my break. I always wanted to post a cute footage with our cat, but I couldn't do it so far because you can't force a cat to do anything, it has to be organic. His name is Kudu and he just appeared one day hungry, so we adopted him. After he left, I poured my tea and the weather is still so warm, so I put some ice in it. Guys, look at this view. Of course the camera doesn't do justice. Probably I took an hour break, and when I came back the oxides were cleaned off from the surface of the copper. After I rinsed them, I started to apply the second layer of colors. I'm filling out the cells again, and I do exactly the same thing as I did first time around. The only difference is that it's much easier because the cells are much smaller. I don't know how many of you guys actually do enameling who watch my videos. If you do, could you leave me a comment? I would be so happy to hear from you. If you don't do enameling but you would love to learn, I have a beginner-friendly 3-part course on my Patreon. We're making this Trillium enamel piece, and it's a detailed course. You can follow me step by step along the way, and by the end you will end up with a beautiful cloisonne enamel piece for yourself. I was done with the second layer here, and I fired it off camera. I think I did 3 more layers, firing it and pickling it in between. Here I'm doing the last layer. I really thought that I was done, but there were 3 little holes left in each. I finished this up, and when I was done, I've noticed that the sun is about to set. I decided that it was enough for today. I switched off my kiln and I went for an evening walk. I wanted to show you guys these butterflies swarming our land. It's really hard to capture them on camera, but I tried my best. Anyways, the sunsets are so beautiful here, and I would like to share this with you guys. And I don't know where you live, but I hope you have time during your day to go out and spend time in nature. If you stay until the very end of this video, I'm going to share with you a spectacular footage which we took from our land. The next morning I started with the last step of this process. I sand the surfaces smooth. I'm using diamond pads for this and a lots of water. I sand both sides. I started the sanding with the more coarse diamond pad and finished up with the finer ones. If you're interested in more enameling videos, you can find plenty on my channel, for example this one. During the sanding, enamel loses its shine, so we have to fire it again to get the shine back. This time I fired them only for 90 seconds because I didn't want the enamel to melt. I wanted only the surfaces to get shiny and melt a little bit. I pickled them one more time and I did some polishing. I made some ear wires for them and they were done. If you like my work and my videos, please consider supporting me on Patreon or buy me a cup of coffee. The links are going to be in the description. I would like to say a huge thank you to my existing patrons for the support. You can also show your support by subscribing to my channel, sharing, liking my videos and also commenting on them. Thank you guys so much for watching and see you in the next video.